안녕하세요.
Young Minho was the young CEO of JM Corp, heir to a billion-dollar empire, known not only for his efficiency, but also for his flawless appearance, which frequently graced magazine covers and newspapers. Constantly surrounded by luxury, Minho had no time for trivial distractions. Every minute of his day was meticulously scheduled by his personal assistant, filled with important meetings and commitments. On what seemed like an ordinary day, as he walked swiftly through the sleek, modern corridors of the company headquarters, engrossed in thoughts about an upcoming crucial meeting, something unexpected happened. Lee Soo-yeon, a discreet employee from the administrative department, hurried along with a tall stack of documents in her arms, oblivious to the approaching CEO. A sudden collision sent papers scattering across the polished floor. Shocked and mortified upon realizing whom she had just bumped into, Soo-yeon immediately bowed, scrambling to gather the fallen documents while stammering out endless apologies. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Young. I really didn't see you," she said, her voice trembling, her wide eyes filled with panic. To the surprise of the employees watching from a distance, Minho kneeled beside her, helping her collect the scattered documents, an unusual gesture for someone of his status. "No need to apologize so much," he responded calmly, his gaze carrying a surprising gentleness that contrasted sharply with his public image. "We all find ourselves in a rush at times." Soo-yeon hesitated before looking up at him, her expression timid yet curious. "I'm Lee Soo-yeon from the administrative department. I sincerely apologize again for the inconvenience." A barely perceptible smile flickered across Minho's lips. "Nice to officially meet you, Miss Lee. You Minho, but I assume you already knew that." A brief smile formed on Soo-yeon's face, easing some of her initial anxiety. However, in the next moment, her expression stiffened upon noticing the curious gazes of her colleagues lingering on them. "I believe you have a meeting to attend, Mr. Young. I wouldn't want to delay you any further," she said politely, trying to regain her composure. "You're right. Thank you, Miss Lee," Minho replied, straightening up and resuming his composed demeanor. Yet, his eyes lingered on her a moment longer than necessary before he finally turned and walked toward the meeting room. Soo-yeon remained still for a moment, feeling strangely affected by the brief encounter. The warmth of Minho's unexpectedly kind gaze still lingered on her flushed cheeks as she carefully reorganized the documents. Neither of them knew that this simple encounter had ignited a spark one that would soon challenge not only their personal lives, but also the rigid societal and familial expectations that surrounded them. After the incident, Minho couldn't get Soo-yeon out of his mind. That brief interaction had awakened something new and intriguing within him. Determined to explore this curiosity, he discreetly arranged for Soo-yeon to be temporarily assigned to a special project under his direct supervision. Surprised by the unexpected opportunity, Soo-yeon hesitated at first, but ultimately accepted, ignoring the growing whispers echoing through the company's hallways. One afternoon, as they reviewed documents in the CEO's luxurious office, Soo-yeon couldn't suppress the discomfort she felt at the stark contrast between her world and his. "Is everything all right, Miss Lee? You seem troubled," Minho asked, watching her closely. "Oh yes, Mr. Young. It's just... all of this is very different from what I'm used to," Soo-yeon admitted timidly, quickly lowering her gaze. "I understand. It can be overwhelming at first, but you'll get used to it," he said, his voice softening slightly. "And please, when we're here, just call me Minho." Soo-yeon hesitated before offering a small, shy smile. "All right, Minho." As the days passed, their proximity grew naturally, and the differences between them, once obstacles, became something else entirely, an undeniable attraction neither could ignore. However, it didn't take long for Minho's family to notice the unusual attention he was giving to the young employee, sparking immediate concern and resistance. One evening, After a long workday, Minho offered to drive Su Yian home. Inside the luxurious car, silence stretched between them, heavy with unspoken emotions. Su Yian, Minho broke the quiet suddenly. Are you happy working with me? Of course, she answered quickly, caught off guard by the question. I worry about the consequences. What consequences? He asked, his brow furrowing. We're very different. I don't want you to face problems because of me, she confessed, finally looking at him directly, her sincerity unmistakable. Minho slowly pulled up in front of her modest home and turned to her, his gaze filled with determination and something even deeper. Su Yian, I don't care what others think. One choose my own battles, and you're one I'm willing to fight for, he declared firmly, making Su Yian's heart race uncontrollably. She smiled softly before stepping out of the car, leaving him alone with his thoughts and decisions. They both knew that the battle he was willing to fight was only just beginning. As the days passed, the relationship between Minho and Su Yian blossomed discreetly. Glances exchanged during meetings and occasional encounters in the hallways fueled the forbidden emotions between them. However, what they tried to conceal gradually became evident to those around them. Rumors of their improbable romance spread quickly, eventually reaching Minho's family, prompting an urgent summons to the Yung mansion. Minho, have you completely lost your mind? His father, Yung Hyan-woo, demanded, his voice heavy with anger. Do you have any idea how much our family has to protect its reputation? Father, I know what I'm doing, Minho replied firmly. Su Yian is not to blame for anything. She is a good person and a competent professional. This is not just about that, Hyan-woo countered sharply. She doesn't belong in our world. This could ruin not only our image, but also your business. There are already murmurs among our investors. At the company, things weren't any easier for Su Yian. Her colleagues began treating her coldly, and malicious whispers echoed through the corridors whenever she passed. During a solitary lunch in the cafeteria, a colleague from her department approached, offering sincere support. Don't pay attention to what they say, the coworker said kindly, but be prepared. You know that people like us rarely win battles like these. I know, Su Yian sighed, feeling weary yet determined. Even so, I don't want to give up. That evening, as they worked late on a project, Su Yian could no longer hold back her emotions. She turned to Minho, her eyes brimming with sincerity. Minho, I don't want to be the reason for your troubles. Maybe we should stop this now, she said, her voice trembling with unshed tears. No, he interrupted firmly, his gaze locking onto hers with unwavering intensity. I know there are many challenges ahead, but I want to face them all with you. I won't let my family or anyone else interfere with my decisions. Minho's words resonated deeply within Su Yian's heart, reigniting her courage to fight for their relationship. However, that same night, an urgent report landed in Minho's hands detailing a serious financial issue within the company. A problem that his family would undoubtedly blame on his distraction with Su Yian. Minho closed his eyes for a moment, absorbing the gravity of the situation. He knew he would have to make a critical decision, one that would test everything he felt for Su Yian. The severe financial crisis plaguing JM Corp quickly became public, further intensifying both internal and external pressures on Minho. Amid tense meetings and veiled accusations about his performance, he remained steadfast in protecting Su Yian from unjust criticism. However, the situation became even more complicated when the media uncovered the secret romance between the CEO and the humble employee, igniting a scandal that shook the very foundations of the company. One day, as Su Yian tried to go about her work as usual, she was suddenly confronted by a swarm of reporters storming into the company headquarters. Bombarded with intrusive and humiliating questions, She struggled to maintain her composure until Minho appeared, stepping in without hesitation. "That's enough." Minho's voice rang out, firm and unwavering as he positioned himself protectively between Soo-yeon and the press. "If you want answers, talk to me. Leave her out of this." Soo-yeon felt a mix of relief and guilt as she watched the man she loved standing up against the storm for her sake. Once they had stepped away from the chaos, she turned to him, her eyes filled with concern. "Minho, maybe I should leave the company. I don't want you to suffer even more because of me," she said, her voice trembling. "Don't ever let these circumstances define our story," Minho responded, his gaze intense and unwavering. "I promise I will fix this. Trust me." Amidst the crisis, Minho made a bold decision. He called for a press conference, publicly taking full responsibility for the company's challenges. In an honest and heartfelt statement, he defended both his professional integrity and his right to love whoever he chose. While his words earned the respect of many, they also deepened the rift with his family. Following the press conference, his father, Hyun-woo, confronted him harshly. "Are you really willing to risk losing everything for this woman?" Hyun-woo's voice was sharp, a mixture of anger and disappointment. Minho met his father's gaze without flinching. "If I have to choose between living an empty life or following my heart, I will choose her, without hesitation." With those words, Minho knew he was bracing himself for a long and arduous battle ahead. When Soo-yeon learned of his confrontation with his family, she felt a deep mix of guilt and admiration, silently vowing to do everything in her power to support him. At the end of the tumultuous day, Minho found Soo-yeon standing at the entrance of the company building. With a tired yet resolute smile, he said, "This will all be worth it, Soo-yeon. Trust me, because I will never give up on us." Overwhelmed with emotion, Soo-yeon simply nodded, silently promising to stand by his side, ready to face whatever storms lay ahead together. After Minho's bold public declaration, both he and Soo-yeon endured difficult days, facing increasing pressure from both the corporate world and his family. However, with each new challenge, their determination only grew stronger. Soo-yeon, resolute in proving her worth and ensuring she was not a burden to Minho, dedicated herself tirelessly to supporting his efforts in reviving JM Corp. During an especially challenging period, as they worked late into the night, Soo-yeon noticed something unusual in a financial report. Initially hesitant, she decided to bring it to Minho's attention immediately. "Minho, I think I found something strange here," she said, handing him the documents. "These numbers don't add up. Someone might be embezzling funds." Minho carefully examined the documents, his expression shifting as he realized the gravity of the situation. "You might be right, Soo-yeon. This could change everything." Determined to uncover the truth, they discreetly launched an internal investigation. Together, they uncovered clear evidence of corruption within Minho's trusted inner circle, an alarming discovery that explained many of the financial difficulties the company had been facing. When Minho presented the evidence to the board, he not only regained the trust of investors, but also proved his leadership skills and sharp judgment. In light of this revelation, his family began to reconsider their opposition to his relationship with Soo-yeon. On a particularly significant evening, Minho invited Soo-yeon to the Jung family mansion for dinner. The atmosphere was heavy with tension, but Minho faced his family head-on. "I know we've had many disagreements, but tonight I want to make something clear. Soo-yeon was instrumental in saving our company," he stated confidently. "I love her, and I intend to build my life with her. I hope you can accept that." To everyone's surprise, his father, Jung Hyun-woo, slowly rose from his chair and turned to face Soo-yeon. His sharp gaze softened slightly as he spoke. "If my son has this much faith in you, then perhaps we should reconsider our position as well. Welcome to the family, Miss Lee." The relief and happiness that flooded Soo-yeon's heart were indescribable. Under the table, Minho discreetly took her hand, a silent affirmation of their unwavering support for each other and their shared belief that together they could overcome anything. As they walked out of the mansion that night, Soo-yeon turned to Minho with a heartfelt smile. "I never imagined I would experience a moment like this," she admitted, her voice filled with emotion. "This is just the beginning," Minho replied warmly, his gaze full of promise. "We have an entire future ahead of us." With JM Corp, as issues finally resolved and their relationship accepted by the family, Minho and Soo-yeon could finally breathe in relief. The company quickly returned to prosperity, and Minho's position as CEO became stronger than ever, thanks to the courage and determination they both had shown during their hardships. On a starry night, exactly 1 year after the fateful encounter that had changed their lives forever, Minho took Soo-yeon to a special dinner at a private location overlooking the glowing city skyline. The atmosphere was perfect, and Soo-yeon could sense something special in the air. "Soo-yeon, there's something I want to say," Minho began, an unusual nervousness in his usually steady voice. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small black velvet box. Opening it slowly, he revealed a dazzling engagement ring. "You changed my life. You showed me the true value of love and humility, and I want to spend the rest of my life by your side. Will you marry me?" Tears of joy welled up in Soo-yeon's eyes as she nodded quickly, her smile radiating pure happiness. "Yes, Minho. It's everything I've ever wanted." A few months later, they exchanged vows in an elegant and emotional wedding ceremony attended by close friends, JM Corp, employees, and their families. During his vows, Minho poured his heart out, expressing his love and gratitude. "I promise to love you, respect you, and support you through every moment, both in hardships and in joy. You have taught me what truly matters in life, Soo-yeon." With a radiant smile, tears glistening in her eyes, Soo-yeon responded, "Minho, with you, I've learned to believe that dreams do come true, and today, we are living ours. I promise to stand by your side, always and forever." The reception that followed was unforgettable, filled with laughter, tears of joy, and heartfelt promises of a bright future together. Not long after, life blessed the couple with even more happiness. The birth of their children, completing the loving family they had always dreamed of. In the years that followed, Minho and Soo-yeon continued to strengthen their love, facing every challenge together and cherishing every moment of happiness to the fullest. And in that bustling city, amidst the glamour and complexities of the corporate world, the love story between billionaire CEO Young Minho and the humble employee Lee Soo-yeon became an inspiration, proving that, despite all odds, true love always finds its way.